People always ask, Jazz, how do I make more money online? Jazz, how can I grow my YouTube? Jazz, how can I do this? Jazz, how can I make this? How can I sell this? Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Jasmine. I am Coach Jazz. Glad to have you. The real flex in business is showing up every day. The real flex in business, the real strategy for business is showing up every day. That's the real flex. I don't know how many more times you have to hear this, but consistency is key. Like, you have to be consistent as hell. And it took me years to get to this level of consistency. I didn't start entrepreneurship being the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most accountable. Absolutely not. I was actually the complete opposite. Okay, I was none of these things when I first started, but you have to be consistent. Like, the flex, first of all, it's hard to show up when you're not making money. It's easy to show up when you're making money, right? When them transactions is coming in, when your platforms are growing, when your stuff is going viral, like, it's easy to show up. That's when it's fun. When you're on live and people are commenting and talking and how do I buy this, how do I buy that, it's fun. But when they're not, when it's quiet, when it's crickets, oh man, that's hard. That is hard. Going live with an empty room, that is hard. Posting content and 0 people watch it, that's hard. That is hard. Posting on YouTube and not 1 person subscribed. Posting video after video after video and nobody is commenting. Selling your products and nobody is buying. Oh my gosh, girl. Now that is hard. That is hard. Working 80 hours within 4 days and still making no money. That is hard. But you have to have those hard moments to have the fun moments, okay? I don't care what any entrepreneur on this internet is telling you. They had days where nobody bought their products. They had days where nobody was watching their videos. They also had days when nobody was subscribing. They had those same days. Entrepreneurship is not always fun, but it's always worth it. There have been weeks where I didn't make any money. Any money. And I still had to pay the rent at the end of the month. Am I lying? And I still had to pay that car payment. And I still got to pay them lights. And I still got to eat. And I still got to show up and make content and talk to a room full of people where there's no people and alive. Oh man. But if I didn't get through those moments, I wouldn't have the $1,000 days. I wouldn't have the $2,000 days. I wouldn't have the days that people dream of. Most people aren't willing to sit through that. And this is why I keep telling you, if you choose to create content or if you choose to have a business and something that you truly love, it makes it more worth it. I couldn't imagine showing up for something every day and I truly hate it with my spirit and my soul. Now that would be a whole new level of hard. But if you at least build a business in something that you truly enjoy, well, then it's easier to like show up for it, even if you're not getting the results that you want, but because you actually like the thing that you're doing, it makes it that much more worth it. You know why you're doing it in the first place. It's hard to do something consistently when you're questioning, what is this for? Like, who is this really going to help, right? But that's the strategy. So when people are like, Jazz, how do I make more money? You just have to be consistent. How do I grow my platforms? You just have to post more. Like, you just have to post more. I do see people who will say, like, you don't need to post more. You need to post more effectively. You need to post better content. But I truly believe that you can't post better content if you don't have enough experience making content. Like, I really believe you have to go through that phase of putting out a whole bunch of content that's really shitty so that you are slowly getting better at it. And then now you can create better content because now you have experience making content. You can't be better at something with no experience. So that's why I say if you post every day or multiple times a day, you're speeding up the process of getting better. Because being better at something, being good at something is just repetition. But you can't get that repetition if you never post. But you have to be consistent. And that's the other thing too, like if you don't post, people will slowly forget about you because, and that's no shade, that's going to happen to anybody. People have very short attention spans in the first place. So you have to be consistently reminding people who you are, what you do, how you can help them. If you're only posting once a month, they're not going to remember. If you're only posting once every other week, they're not going to remember. They're really not. So you have to be consistent so that you can even begin to remind people that you exist. And consistency doesn't have to be torturous. Like, if you choose something that you really want to do, not chasing trends, not doing something because someone promised you $1 million by the end of the week, but really try to figure out what it is that you want to do so that you can show up for it. Like for me, like having Coach Jazz, like having this platform, I love motivating people. I love just talking about things that I've experienced, but with a way to overcome it, right? I don't like to turn stuff into pity parties, but because it's what I like to do, it's easy to make these videos. The only time it becomes more of a challenge is if I'm wrapped up with like my OnlyFans business or, you know, stuff like that. But when everything is running smoothly and everything is operating the way it should be, it's easier to be consistent. I mean, I'm gonna be consistent regardless, right? But it's easier to be consistent with this type of content because I truly enjoy what I'm talking about. So I want you to figure out what you want to talk about. I tried to make my weight loss and fitness channel more conversational about weight loss and stuff, and I might come back to that. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that channel, but it's hard for me to be consistent with that channel because where I am in my life right now, I'm not always in the gym. When I first started, I was always in the gym because I was on a weight loss journey, right? I lost 100 pounds, so that was a big part of my life. Well, now that I've lost the weight, right? Now that I'm just kind of in maintenance, it's not as exciting. It's not my whole life anymore. I do run a business, so I still have to cater to that. You know, it's just a little more challenging for me to show up in that way. But with this type of content, which I could post over there, but I just know most people over there are there for weight loss and fitness, it just wasn't, it wouldn't resonate. You know what I mean? So figure out what it is that you love to do. Figure out what is it that you know you could help somebody accomplish. You could help someone with some type of problem that they're struggling with. But your whole brand doesn't have to just be that. Like I share other things in my life here other than business strategies and mindset strategies and girl talk. Like I share things like being introverted and how I overcame feeling lonely or how I found my purpose. So there's so many things that you can share, but when you do it in a way that you truly enjoy doing it, something that you can maintain, it's so much easier to be consistent. And that consistency is what's going to get you the results that you want. So stop making things hard. Stop overthinking everything. 9 times out of 10, the idea that you're looking for when you're trying to figure out what kind of content to create is pretty much right in your face. All right, you guys, let me know what you guys think of this video. Leave a comment down below and make sure you guys check out this video right here. Yes, this YouTube video right here is definitely for you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.